Okay. Okay, so let's get started with your science and tech current affairs. This is the third part of October. Okay, now, yeah, first topic. This is about Rotavac vaccine. Now, Rotavac vaccine, by the name itself, you can understand this is given for rotavirus based infections. Now, what is this? See, understand, in small children around the world, you might have seen there is diarrhea is often caused to them. Okay, now one third of those diarrhea cases are because of rotavirus. There are many different species of rotavirus. In fact, it is said that every infant by the age of 5 years always suffers from rotavirus at least once. Then over time it develops immunity against it and fight it. That's why one vaccine is made by us. Okay, now this vaccine, now this vaccine is being administered from a long time in India. From 2016, it is part of our universal immunization program. Okay, now recently there was a study that was conducted to tell about its efficiency or efficacy. Okay, now here, see this. What it says. So why this is a news? A new Nature Medicine study evaluated India's indigenous rotavirus vaccine, Rotavac, under the Universal Immunization Program. So, under this Universal Immunization Program, what we were administering in this time period, they have evaluated it, how efficient it has been, what is the efficacy levels. Now, what is rotavirus and what is its burden? So, disease is what? So, rotavirus causes gastroenteritis and damages the small intestine lining. So what it does, your small intestine has a lining. Okay, in the lining there are different kinds of cells. Now when you are infected with rotavirus, those cells get destroyed, or those cells get completely dysfunctional. Now this is what rotavirus does. Now global toll is what? Globally, this is almost, if you see, almost 1,28,000 people or deaths are under the age of 5 children is suffered annually. Okay, so annually approximately one and a half lakh people or children die from this. Now in this, India has roughly one-fifth share. One-fifth share is of India. You can understand one-fifth means approximately 25,000 deaths in India. Now, now, once you understand what is rotavirus and the infection caused by it, now we come to what is rotavac and when it is given. So, rotavac is an indigenously developed oral rotavirus vaccine. This is a live attenuated vaccine. That means a live weakened virus is used in this vaccine. Okay, there are different kinds of vaccines that we study in science and technology. One of them is where you use weakened version of this virus. Okay, one is in which you use dead pathogens. Some mRNA, some you might have heard about mRNA. So that is also a different kind of vaccines. So different vaccines we have. This is a live attenuated vaccines. That means a live virus is there that is much more weakened. Now, schedule is it is given at the age of 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks for the children. Now, access this is given free under universal immunization program for all infants nationwide. So it is given for free to all the infants at the age of 6, 10, and 14 weeks. Then who developed it? Who developed this and supported Rotavac? So this was developed by Department of Biotechnology, India, and Bharat Biotech, and it was supported by US National Health Organization, and there were some India and US partners. It was also supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in their funding. So basically these two, DBT and Bharat Biotech, they have developed this vaccine. Now, this is the background. Now, what was in the study? So this recent study, what did this study do? So first thing was, this was completely observational. Now what they did, what they between 2016 and 2020, they did before and after survey kind of thing. So what they did, multi-center before and after analysis they did. So before administering of this vaccine, what was the results, what was the prevalence of rotavirus, this, and after administering of these vaccines, they have seen both the terms. Now, scale is what? 31 hospitals across 9 states was covered. Now, window. So, UIP rollout 2016 to 20. This was the time period in which they were conducting this entire survey and studies to understand the efficacy. Now, what did the study find? So, first is effectiveness. Approximately 54% against rotavirus hospitalization is the efficacy. That means this vaccination reduced 54% of the hospitalizations that are caused by rotavirus. Okay, then now protection sustained in the first 2 years of life. Now, as you can see, it was being administered after 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. It is just when the child is born. Now, for approximately 2 years, the protection was very good. After that, the protection decreased, but most cases of rotavirus also occurs below 2 years. Okay, up to 5 years it occurs, but most vulnerable are children till 2 years. So that it covers. Then impact is significant reduction in pediatric rotavirus hospitalizations. That we understood 54% less. Then we come to next topic, which is AI for cancer treatment. Now, this is C2S. C2S is cell to sentence. Okay, cell to sentence. Now understand what is this. So, what this Google, DeepMind, and Yale University, they have combined together and they have made some C2S scale. Now, what it does? First, understand it. So, basically, it will read different kinds of cells. Now, okay, see, let's say all these are cancer cells. All these are cancer cells. Cancer cells means what? They have some tumor or something. Now, some of them will be recognized by your body and your immune system will attack on it, correct, to destroy it. That is fine. Let's say this gets. Now, how your immune system recognizes anything? By something called antigen that is present on the outside. So your immune system recognizes this antigen and attacks this cancer tumor or cell. Now, some of these cancer cells, their antigens are not very clearly visible to the immune system. So that is a major issue. So your immune system is not able to identify that this cancer cell, this is a cancer cell or not. So it is not destroyed. Now to increase this antigen reception by the immune system, there are many medicines that are given. Many medicines in different forms are given to cancer patients, so that what happens, these antigens become more observable to your immune system. Understood? This is naturally observable by the immune system. This one has antigens that your immune system is not able to identify. Then you take some different kinds of dosage medicine, this that, then your immune system is able to recognize this also and can destroy this also. Now this is what is there. Now these are called, which are not easily recognizable, these are called cold tumors. Cold tumors, because they are not generating any reaction from the antibody from your immune system directly, but after taking some medicine, this that, then only it becomes visible to them. That's why they are called cold tumors. Now what they have done using AI, so usually what they had to do, they had to apply different kinds of medicine on different people, and then they were able to identify some medications that may help in this. Now that takes a lot of time because it involves trial and error. ये देके देखते हैं, वो देके देखते हैं. They kept on going like this. Then using this AI, what this AI has done, this is able to map your entire cell like a sentence. So your cell is also made up of some genetic material like this. So your cell's entire genetic material, it reads it like a sentence. So it understands your cell fully. Now once it understands your cell fully, even those that are not showing proper antigens, so it is able to identify this cell and it can read it as a sentence. Now once it understands the entire structure of the cell, then without giving it to anybody in the real world or in the real cells, what they do, they did virtual simulations of different kinds of dosage. So what they did, they trained this AI on all these different kinds of cold tumors, and then in the virtual place, in the simulation, they were applying different kind of doses or medicines, and it was able to identify, because it understands the entire structure, that this part, this RNA codes for that protein, this RNA codes for that protein. All this understanding it already has, so it was able to identify that which of the medicine and in what dosage will work very well to make its antigen visible to the immune system without administering it in the real cells. Now they had taken 4,000 samples and it was able to identify on its own. Then it suggested one specific medicine along with its dosage. Now, this was not usually given by doctors or tested by scientists. So they had not given this particular medicine in this particular dosage. Now, when this AI predicted that you should give this medicine in this dosage and it will help solve this cold tumor problem, then what they did, they experimented this in the real lab environment कि ये बोल रहा है करके देखते हैं. So when they did this, they found that he was giving correct results, and even the efficacy that he predicted, that approximately 54% efficacy will be there, that also was approximately correct. So you're understanding. So here predictive medicine is a term, predictive medicine, in which they are able to predict. Okay, so here as you can see, some doses based on all the data that is supplied to it, it is able to give new different kinds of medicine and dosage that can work without working in the real world environment. So this entire simulation can be done on a computer system. not this computer system, but a more advanced computer system that runs this AI. Understood the entire thing? Okay. Two, three things. First is cancer cells. Some cancer cells don't show the antigens properly, called cold tumors. Cold tumors is a problem. To make these antigens more visible, we apply different kinds of medicines. Now, we usually did it by trial and error, which is a much more long process and not that effective. Then we developed an AI which can understand the cell's structure like a sentence. Based on its understanding of the cell, it was able to identify which medicine and what dosage should be given to solve this problem of cold tumor. That's it. Got it? Yeah, like not the initial stages of the cancer. This is actually about research. So some of the tumors are not that clearly visible. So it is able to identify, give dosage. That is the main thing. Now, at what stage, that depends on the person to person. Okay, in every person there are some cold tumors. Okay, so that are not visible to your immune system. That is a major issue. Otherwise, if everything is generating a reaction in your immune system, then cancer cells will get destroyed anyway. So there are cold tumors in everybody. Now, of course, they may increase, decrease based on person. Okay, then now once you get this, now understand. Now let's see what is written here. So C2S scale, cell to sentence scale, 27B predicted a way to make hidden tumors, cold tumors, visible to the immune system. This was confirmed in living human cells. As I told you, then they tested in the labs and it was showing correct results. Then, what's the core problem? Many tumors are cold. They show too little antigen, so T cells don't see them. Now, T cell, you understand, part of the immune system, they are not able to see them, so they cannot destroy. Then what is C2S scale? An AI that reads single cell data and predicts drug effects on a cell's antigen display and immune signaling. So all that it is able to identify for that particular cell. First, the entire cell data, then what will be effect of different kinds of drugs on it. Okay, to on antigen display. Okay, then now approach is what? Now, okay, so what they did, they tested drugs in baseline and low interferon conditions. Okay, now understand what is low interferon condition. Low interferon is nothing but when immunity is generated but in very low amount. So basically your immune system is guessing that this seems like a tumor cell, but it is not able to recognize it fully. Why? Because the antigens are not clearly visible. So what they did, they tried it in both the they tried the drugs in both baseline means when there is no immune system reaction on it, and in low interferon conditions. Now what you want, you don't want to act in this. Basically, when your immune system is not reacting to it, you are not trying to identify those cells. Okay, you are trying to identify tumor cells only when your immune system identifies that it may be a tumor cell, but because of less antigen it is not able to recognize. So that you have to increase. So this is our main focus point. Then virtual screen simulate, see, 4,000 drug across tumor samples. So tumor sample it understood, then 4,000 different drugs it tried virtually to give one single dosage and some medicine that should be taken. Then score, keep drugs that raise antigen on cell visibility. Now pick conditional amplifiers, works mainly with IFN present. So basically what you want conditional amplifiers. Conditional amplifiers means only those medicines which amplify the antigens when there is some kind of immune reaction to it. Okay, that means your immune system is, when your immune system is confused, only at those times you want the antigen to be made more visible. Otherwise, if your immune system is not reacting to it, then you don't use this. Okay, this is only for that case. Otherwise what will happen, even the good cells, your immune system does not have any problem with it. Now this particular medicine or this particular process may start giving you some different kinds of cells which may have tumor. Now your immune system has not even recognized it, so you cannot act on it directly. Here you have some idea that it might be true, but yeah, but you are not sure about it, so this will work here. Then this was confirmed by top hits in human living human cells. Again we tested it in labs to find it. That's it. And yeah, so this was the medicine name, won't be asked. This was the name of the medicine. Then about 50% higher antigen display on tumor cells. Human cells test showed they became easier for T cells to recognize. As I told you, approximately 50% higher antigen display was shown. Then why does this matter? So of course it turns cold tumors into hot tumors. Hot tumors are what? Which are clearly visible antigens. So cold is converted into hot. Now may improve immunotherapy response. Understood? Then repurposes a known drug with a clear condition, works best with IF. Now any known drug, we are trying different kinds of drugs. As we saw, we tried approximately 4,000 drugs. So this known drugs it tried, and it was able to find another use case for it. Then faster pipeline. So virtual first, see, anything that has to be done in the human cells will take a lot of time. Now it tested 4,000 different dosage or medicines very fastly. So virtual first, then whatever it suggests, then you can test it in the lab. So this makes your process much faster. That's it. Then next topic, which is green crackers. What are green crackers? There was an article in Indian Express saying that green crackers are not clean, they are cleaner. It means what? They are not absolutely clean, or they don't cause any pollution, but they are a cleaner alternative to the traditional explosives that we use, or firecrackers that we use. Now see, green crackers, it might seem to you an extreme statement, but this is an Indian invention. Okay, no other countries is focusing this much on green crackers. See, there are countries which are suffering from pollution, and they don't care much about the different kinds of firecrackers, this that, and there are developed countries which don't have this problem. Now we have this problem because we have a festival called Diwali. Now so green crackers is an Indian innovation. Okay, most of the new technologies that are coming with respect to green crackers is also coming from India only. So this is a CSIR NEERI innovation, okay, to develop some green crackers. Now what it does, see this, what are green crackers? So what are them? They are eco modified firecrackers made by CSIR NEERI to lower PM toxic gases and noise versus conventional crackers. So basically it will reduce different kinds of PMS, particulate matter, pollutants that are released, toxic gases that are released, as well as noise that is released by the conventional crackers. It will reduce it by some amount. Won't completely eradicate it, but will just reduce it. Now authentication is done by CSIR NEERI certification with a QR code on the box. So on the box itself you have a code, you can scan it to make sure that this is a green cracker. Now what are the main variants? Different kinds of variants are made, safe water releaser, this that. Variants you need not remember, just the short forms: Swas, Star and Safal. If it is asked, some questions are asked, no, Swas, Star and Safal are the terms related to. So for that you need to remember these are related to green crackers. That's it. Then how do they work? So what they have, basically they don't have any great innovation. Basically they are, instead of using the traditional explosives have some compounds that are very harmful to us. For example, barium nitrate. So they replace barium nitrate with potassium nitrate or some different kinds of compounds. Other is the traditional firecrackers release a lot of dust, okay, and different kinds of particles. Now in this green crackers we have some absorbents or adsorbents. So what they will do, all the dust particle that is about to release, that will be absorbed by the cracker itself, so it won't be exploded in the sky. Okay, now and the third thing is, it burns at a lower combustion temperature and controlled oxidation. So what will it do, the toxic produces, see, the toxic produces that are given out when they burn is also lower. So three things: one is toxic products that are released are lesser. Second thing is it has soot absorbance. So what will happen, for example, it has zeolite, porous additives, iron oxide. So what they'll do, they'll trap soot or dust and gaseous byproducts, cutting heavy metal residues. So they will absorb all of this. Then there is no barium nitrate. Barium nitrate is toxic. So this uses safer salts like potassium nitrate, strontium salts, and typically this data you can remember, or you should remember, 30 to 40% lower PM 2.5 SO2 NOx than conventional crackers. So 30 to 40% less emission of these harmful gases or particulate matter. This is what they do. Now Now, see these compliance and rulings. So, in 2018, Supreme Court ruled that in Arjun Gopal case, only green crackers and no, no barium and fixed time windows. Supreme Court declared, because of the pollution issues, that only green crackers will be allowed, and no barium, no barium nitrate, that compound cannot be used, and there should be fixed time windows. That is applicable for all cities. If you know, in this city also we had different time windows where you were allowed to burst crackers. Now of course not followed, but fixed time windows were made. Now National Green Tribunal in 2020, there was a case in National Green Tribunal specially for the NCR region. So in that they ordered in NCR they ordered total ban during Diwali and in cities with poor or worse AQI. So cities that have a very bad AQI, and especially for the NCR region, there was a total ban. Now of course this could not be implemented, and it went on against the court orders for a very long time. So this year Supreme Court in 2025 they gave a decision recently, that is in Delhi NCR they have allowed limited sale or busting of Neri or Peso green crackers in restricted windows. That means green crackers they have allowed in NCR region for a very limited window during Diwali. They had also declared this, that on Diwali's day from 8 to 10, like this very small window, they had to allow it. Okay, anyway people were busting crackers. So this is what they have done. Now yeah, what is the significance and caveats? Significance is what? Of course, it's a cleaner option, 30 to 40% lower emissions of all this. Then this is government backed CSIR NERI, so it aligns with our clean air net zero program. Then preserves festivities while reducing harm. Of course, it is because for people it does not matter if it is a green cracker or not. They are getting the sound, they are getting the lights, so they are happy. Then caveats is what? This is not zero emission. Okay, noise and some toxins remain. So some toxic substances are still being released from it. Then counterfeit risk. So there is a QR code, but who checks the QR code every time they buy a green cracker? So that's why there were a lot of counterfeit green crackers also being sold. Okay, then impact depends on scale of use and proper disposal of spent material. Now, if it will release less emissions, it will release less of the residues. But if that residue is just left on the road or just made on the side without proper disposal, then it still will be toxic to people living around. So that becomes still important. Then we come to Zoho. Zoho was in news for the last week a lot of the times. Why? Because as you know, different ministers and PM Modi also, they declared that we are switching to Zoho platform for our mail services, for our different documentation services, to push Atmanirbhar Bharat and whatever rhetoric. So this is that guy who runs Zoho. Okay, the good thing about him is he lives in a village, and this is a startup that is highly profitable, as well as this is set up in a village in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so this startup is working from a village in Tamil Nadu. All their engineers and whatever are there, they live in that village and carry on their work from there. Okay, so this is sustainable in every way possible. Now, let's understand a bit about it. Yeah, so government is replacing the software stack behind official email from US origin Zimbra used under NIC to Zoho's indigenous stack. Now see, many places you will see that government is shifting from NIC to Zoho. Now, this raises a doubt. NIC is what? National Informatics Center. So this is government organization only. So now, if from a government organization we are moving to a private organization that is Indian, it is not a very good change or a change that we should be celebrating. The thing is that NIC, like all the government's websites you might have seen, cbsc.nic.in, upsc.nic.in. So that NIC is actually just the name of the government organizations that is operating it, but behind it the entire software stack is actually coming from a company called Zimbra, that is a US based company. Understood? So that is a US based company. That's why this change from NIC, that had the entire infrastructure from that US based company. Now we are moving to Zoho. That means the entire data, because all the government documents, mails, everything is sent over mails, and so all these will now be localized. Data will be localized in India. Why? Because now we have an Indian operator. Also Zoho, if you know, Zoho is a company that is completely bootstrapped. What is bootstrapped? That it has not taken any funding from outside. So usually the big Indian companies also like Zomato and Paytm and this and that, they all have very high global investors. So Tiger Global, okay, American Express, all these companies usually hold 30, 30, 40% of these companies. Okay, but Zoho is bootstrapped. That means that pressure also won't come from outside, that all the data that you get, you should give to us. Okay, so data localization can be done properly when we shift to Zoho. So this is the reason why we are doing this. Okay, now this will cover 12 lakh accounts of central government employees. Their email accounts, everything of the central government employees, approximately 12 lakh are there. That will be changed to Zoho platform. Now, what is Zoho? Zoho is a global SaaS firm. What is SaaS? Software as a service. That means you are getting a software as a service. Basically, on a subscription model, you are getting a service. Till you are subscribed to it, you are getting that service. For example, Google Drive is also a SaaS. Different kinds of, like if Gmail that you use is free, but there is also a business Gmail accounts. So like if you see of this organization, all the email IDs, if you open your Gmail account, it shows the sign of G, that is of Gmail. It is like a square, something like this, correct? Now if you open in these laptops which are of this company, instead of this G you will see it has written LIA, that is the initials of this institution. So you can customize something in a software as a service or SaaS. So these are the different facilities it provides. So first is the basic framework that is provided to everybody as a service, and the other is provided specially to businesses. Some customizations are provided. Now, so this is also an example of SaaS. Now, just like you have Microsoft, you have Google. Now Microsoft has Microsoft Suite, it has Word, PowerPoint, this, that. Zoho also has all of them. Okay, everything can be opened by Zoho also. It has more than 50 apps within it. Okay, now it serves 100 plus million users in 150 plus countries. The best thing about it, this is actually low cost and ad free. That's why it has been adopted by people worldwide, not just India. That's why it is a highly profitable company. So it is low cost as well as ad free. Okay, then yeah, what does it offer? So it offers 55 plus cloud-based app for collaboration and businesses. This includes Zoho Workplace and Zoho Office Suite, alternatives to Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. This suite includes all different kinds of Word, PDF, Open, whatever you want to open, different kinds of things are there. Zoho has it. Then, what does this change signify? So, how does this change help? First is data sovereignty and control. This you understood. Data localization can be there. Everything is with a Indian company that is bootstrapped. Then cost and operational fit. Now it has lower total cost. As I told you, this is much cheaper alternative. Then privacy first. There are no ads like this. Now this is better alignment with government workflows and policies, because you can directly interact with them here. If you know, he's also this Vembuna, who is the founder of this company, is also a member of National Security Services, National, yeah, National Service Centers. He is a board member from 2023 itself. Okay, so he is directly related. So any policy or any changes that the government wants can be implemented much faster. Then built and run from rural India. This I have already explained to you. Okay, so this promotes our Atmanirbhar Bharat, this, that, connect. Then we come to last topic, which is GPS spoofing. So recently what has happened, an Air India flight was going above Middle East or West Asia. Then there was some kind of GPS spoofing. Because of that, we had to land in Dubai instead of going wherever we are going. I think we were going to Europe, someplace in Europe. So we had to land in the middle. So we'll understand this term of GPS spoofing. See, Air India flight gets GPS spoof, emergency landing in Dubai. Now, see, GPS spoofing. There are two terms. One is GPS spoofing and the other term is jamming. Now, jammers, if you have went to watch cricket matches, you might know that they apply jammers. That means no mobile signals work there. Correct. Similarly, GPS jamming will be what? It will jam all the signals of GPS. GPS is what? Global positioning systems. Now, so if all signals are jammed, now if there is a flight, now flight for its navigation uses different kind of GPS systems. We have our own also IRNS and IRNSS and different kinds of GLONASS is of Russia, this, that, GPS is of USA. So all that we use for navigation of these flights. Now, GPS jamming will do what? Suddenly, this pilot will realize that I am not getting any signal from anywhere. Okay, and then it is basically on the pilot how he navigates. Of course, it has internal systems also. These modern flights also have internal systems. So based on that, he'll have to maneuver. and of course some connections it may have still from its ATC or ground centers, so that it can connect. Now this is GPS jamming, but GPS spoofing is something different. Here, now what they will do, see this. So they will, you won't stop getting signals. Instead of the correct signals, you'll start getting wrong signals. Okay, so you will start getting wrong signals. So pilot sometimes won't even realize, okay, that I am getting wrong signals, and the flight will start navigating in wrong directions, and it can cause any mishap or hijack or whatever they want to do. So this is GPS spoofing. Spoofing. Okay, now see, this is the starting position. This is shown for a drone. Now this drone has a planned flight to here to reach this desired destination. Now see, actual flight path, actual flight path, yeah, so actual flight path, now it has to go in this direction, correct? This is the actual path. Now there is some attacker. Now this attacker will do what? It will override the original signals, and this signal will reach it. Now because of this signal, this will become the current fake position of the drone, and then it will start following similar path parallel to it. So it will, instead of reaching, this becomes the fake flight path, and it is drawn wrong. Wait, this is the desired destination, this is the actual flight path. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so what it will do, it will, instead of reaching this destination, because of the wrong signals that are sent here, it will follow this direction and reach this fake destination. Now in this fake destination, they can hijack this drone or flight or whatever. Okay, so this is what DNS GPS spoofing is. Spoof जैसे बनाते हैं ना, of different movies, spoofs you might have heard. Yes, so fake copy. So similarly, the original signal, similar artificial signal will be sent over it. So this flight system won't be able to recognize it, and it can hamper its navigation or reach wrong destination. Now this was felt in that flight when it was flying over Dubai. That's why immediately we landed in the nearest airport that we could find. So we landed in Dubai, because we understood that there is some problem with respect to navigation, and if I keep on following the navigation that I am getting right now, then I may not reach my destination, I may reach some other destination where there may be some terrorist activity, this that we don't know. Okay, so this is GPS spoofing. Now why news? An Air India Vienna to Delhi flight. Vienna, you understand? It's in Europe. Now, diverted after suspected GPS spoofing over the Middle East disrupted navigation, affecting autopilot, auto thrust, flight director, and auto land. These are different systems, navigation systems in a flight. All of them can get affected because you're getting wrong navigation signals. Now, what is GPS spoofing? You have already understood. A cyber attack that sends fake satellite signals to receivers, causing wrong position, navigation, or time information. Understood? Now, next. How is spoofing different from jamming? This also you understood. So jamming will block or overpower the signals completely. So there will be obvious loss of GPS. You will be able to understand it. Now, spoofing feeds believable false data. So system may trust and follow it. This is much more harder to detect, because there, once he stops getting any kind of navigation signal, it knows that the navigation system has failed. It will try to land himself, but here he may not even understand and can land at some different place. Okay, then how does spoofing work? So what they'll do, ground transmitters, they broadcast counterfeit signals. Now what will happen, the receiver locks onto the stronger fake instead of the real satellites. So instead of the real signals, it catches the fake signals, catches it, and then aircraft systems then show incorrect location, track time, same thing. Then Effects on aviation, wrong guidance can be provided, automation will be degraded, autopilot, this that won't work. Then of course there is safety risk. What are the mitigations? This you see. First thing is cross check GPS with internal sensors and ground aids. So this should always be checked by the pilots or captain, that apart from the GPS, it must check the internal sensors that are present in the flight as well as ground aids. So always there is something called ground station in different airports. You might know about, there is one exam also, it selects ATCs, engineers. So what they do, so that connection it should keep on checking along with the GPS. Then hands fly if mismatch. Hands fly means what? Not depending on the navigation by the GPS and following the captain taking over the control himself and flying it. Then use multiple satellite systems. So for example, GPS is by US, Galileo is by Europe, GLONASS is by Russia, Navik is by India. So if it is using multiple system, hacking all those systems and signals from all those becomes very difficult simultaneously. So this is another way to get it. Then last is brief, monitor, report quickly to air traffic control. Air traffic control is ATCs that are present in the ground. So if any issue is observed by the people in the flight, not the people but the captain in the flight, it can immediately transfer this information to ATC, and ATC can check all the signals and navigation that is coming to the flight, and if everything is okay, can give a go ahead or ask him to maneuver somewhere else. Then yeah, that's it. Let's start with the questions. Just 3-4 questions. Got it? Okay. First is what? This is about rotavirus. Rotavirus damages the small intestine linings. This we have understood. This is what it does. Then India accounts for about 1/5 of the global under 5 rotavirus deaths. This also we had seen. Total deaths are approximately 1.28 lakhs, and deaths in India will be approximately 25,000. 1/5. Then last is Rotavac includes a booster at 9 months under UIP. This is a wrong statement. Okay, so even if some booster doses may be given after 9 months, does not matter, because it says under UIP. Under Universal Immunization Program, we have already run, there are only 3 doses at 6, 10 and 14 weeks child. So this is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. Answer becomes A. Then next. One and two, 2 and 3, 1 only, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Let's see. So C2S scale. Now, first one, 50% higher antigen display was seen with this medicine plus interferon in human cell test. This is correct. Now, next is the goal is to convert cold tumors to hot. Yes, this is what the goal was, because antigens were not being shown clearly. That is called cold tumors. Now, if antigens get shown properly, they are called hot tumors. This is what they wanted. Then the model directly edits tumor DNA to increase antigen. No DNA editing is being done. Just increasing the amount or intensity of antigen is being made. Now, so answer is become 1 and 2. Then, yeah, do this. Done. Okay. See, first one. This is about government's initiative of shifting to Zoho platform, shifting the software stack from Zimbra to Zoho under NIC. Correct. Then, immediate closure of all NIC data centers post migration. No such drastic steps have to be taken. Just the software stack that is behind NIC will be changed to Zoho. Then approximately 12 million accounts including PMO under the new stack by Zoho. This is wrong because this is not 12 million. This was 12 lakh. Correct? 12 millions mean what? 1.2 crore central government employees. That much we don't have. 12 lakhs is the correct. So answer becomes what? This is also wrong. Answer becomes C, that is 1 only. Then last. Okay, see what it says. Correct about GPS spoofing. First is what? Spoofing can degrade autopilot, flight detector, auto landing by giving wrong guidance. This is correct. Then it always triggers immediate loss of signal alarms. No. This is true for what? This is true for GPS jamming. In jamming, you will have immediate loss of signals. Here, that is the problem. You are not having immediate loss of signal. So that's why the pilot may continue flying according to the navigation. Then it may mislead track or position or time without obvious alarms. Yes, this is true. This is the major issue. So no alarms are there. Answer becomes what? 1 and 3. Understood? Now, last thing. Yeah, here we have space. Now, what was the first topic? First topic was what? Rotavirus. In that, what you have to remember, one is this rotavirus. Okay, what it infects? Inner lining of small intestine. Who is most vulnerable? Under 5-year infants. Okay, vaccine we have developed called Rotavac. Who has developed? Who has developed? Department of Biotechnology and Bharat Biotech. And there is some US involvement by their NIH also. They have developed Rotavac. Rotavac is what kind of vaccine? This is a oral. That is, you saw that just orally you have to give like polio drops, and live attenuated. Live attenuated means what? Weakened or living virus that is weakened. Now, so live attenuated vaccine. This is about what? This is about rotavirus. This much you have to remember. Now, one more thing, that 1.25 lakh die every year. Of that, 25K come from India. That's it. Then, after rotavirus, what was the second topic we did? We did AI AI for, yes, for cancer detection. This only, no? For cancer treatment. Yeah. So for cancer treatment. So in that, what we had seen, two cells, this, that affected. So basically, there were something called cold tumors. Cold tumors do what? They don't have visible antigens. So by applying different kinds of medicine, we try to convert this into hot tumor, and now this was taking a lot of time because of trial and error method that we usually we use. Now AI does what? AI can do virtual simulations. It did for almost 4,000 different dosage, and then was able to give perfect medicine as well as dosage will turn which will turn this cold tumor into hot tumor. Correct? This only you have to remember. Then third work period, green crackers. Green crackers comes mainly from India, from CSIR Navy. Okay, now green crackers, three main things they were changing. One was absorbents that were absorbing different kind of dust particle, this, that. Other was decreasing the concentration of barium nitrate, and last was what other thing? Yes, the release of PM and other pollutants were reduced by 30 to 40% because of low temperature combustion, this, that. Okay, then next topic is what? Zoho. Zoho, all you need to remember about Zoho is this is a SaaS platform, and government is moving NIC to Zoho because NIC was based on software stack that was from US. That's it. Zoho, you anyway understand what it does, all that. Then next, last, GPS spoofing. So there were two terms. One was GPS spoofing and the other was GPS jamming. Jamming mein all signals go away. Here wrong signals are given. Okay, wrong signals are given, and in GPS jamming, what will happen? No signals. So this will be no signals. Now of course this will be more difficult to detect. Understood? This only you have to remember. That's it for this class. Thank you.